Run it back.
Hey, welcome again. So this is lesson 31, mental verbs. So when you say mental verbs, we think about the simple present or the present indefinite tense, because we most of the time use this mental verbs with the present tense because they don't have any continuous forms. So we can say that mental verbs. Why do we integrate this mental verbs with that of the present tense? Because present tense uses for permanent situation. So we use this mental verbs for in a permanent context, which has which we use these mental verbs with our mind. So we can say that mental verbs, our mind's permanent activity. So we can say this word also mental verbs. So here they don't have any continuous verb, but they have perfect and past forms. እነዚህ ሜንታል ቨርቦችን ስናስብ ከማን ጋር ነው የምናገናኘው? ከሲምፕል ፕሬዘንት ጋር ነው የምናገናኛቸው። ሲምፕል ፕሬዘንት ፐርማነንት ኮንቴክስትን ይገልጽልናል። ስለዚህ እነዚህ ሜንታል ቨርቦች ደግሞ በአብዛኛው የአእምሮን ሜንታል የአእምሮን ስራ የሚገልጹ ናቸው። በዋናነት የሚገልጹ ወርዶች ናቸው ሜንታል ቨርብ ስንል። ስለዚህ ምን ማለት ነው? እነዚህ ሜንታል ቨርቦች በኮንቲኒየስ ልንገልጻቸው አንችልም። ኮንቲኒየስ ፎርም የላቸውም። ምናልባት ትርጉማቸው ሌላ ትርጉም የሚሰጥ ከሆነ በኮንቲኒየስ እንገልጻቸዋለን። ከዛ ውጭ ግን ፐርማነንትሊ they don't have any continuous form። ያ ማለት በፓስት እንገልጻቸዋለን፣ በፐርፌክት እንገልጻቸዋለን። ይሄ ነው ሜንታል ቨርብስ ስንል። ሜንታል verbs. So some of the examples of mental verbs are know. I know who is he. I know who is he. I'm knowing who is he አይደለም። እሱ ማን እንደሆነ አውቃለሁ ነው። እሱ ማን እንደሆነ እያወቅኩ ነው ስል አሁን ሜንታል አክቲቪቲ ተመልከቱ። በፊት አላውቅም ነበር፣ ቀጣይም ላውቅ አልችልም፣ አሁን ብቻ ነው የማውቀው ማለት ነው የሚሰጠን ጥቅም። ለዚህ ነው ሜንታል ቨርብ ያልናቸው። ስለዚህ ፐርማነንት አክቲቪቲን ልንገልጽባቸው የሚያስችሉን ወርዶች ናቸው እነዚህ። I know with, I knew, I have known possible ነው። በፓስት በፐርፌክት እንገልጻቸዋለን። but I am knowing ካልኩ ግን ሚኒንግለስ ስትራክቸር ይሰጠኛል። ለዚህ ነው እነዚህን ቨርቦች ከፕሬዘንት ሲምፕል ጋር ያገናኘናቸው። do you know the problem? Yes, I know the problem, but not yes, I am knowing the problem. ችግሩን እያወቅኩ ነው ስትል I don't know and I will not know. It has such meaning. So we cannot say I am knowing me. So do you know the problem? Yes, I know. Yes, I know. Did you know the problem? Yes, I knew. Have you known the problem? Yes, I have known. Yeah, we can say perfect and past. The other, realize and suppose, mean, understand, realize. She realized that the problem is serious. She realized that the problem is serious. She is realizing that the problem is serious. Not, we cannot say like this. ችግሩ ከባድ እንደሆነ አረጋገጠች ነው። ችግሩ ከባድ እንደሆነ እያረጋገጠች ነው። ችግሩ ከባድ እንደሆነ አረጋግጣለች። እያረጋገጠች ነው። ትርጉም ሊሰጠን አይችልም። ሴንስለስ አረፍተ ነገር ነው። ትርጉም የለሽ አረፍተ ነገር ይሰጠናል። ሌሎችን I believe, I remember, belong, fit, contain, consist, see, forget, promise, and the other one, look here. Agree, refuse, apologize, recommend, and suggest. These are examples of mental verbs. I'll give you some of these examples using these mental verbs. Yeah. So I know that she's from the family. We have known each other. I'm knowing him. We cannot say like this. I'm knowing him. And the other, do you understand what I mean? I think you understand what I mean? Yes, I understand. Not, I'm understanding me. ምን እንዳልኩ ተረድተኛ? Yes, I understand. አዎ ተረድቻለሁ። I'm understanding እየተረዳሁ ነው ስትል it doesn't have a meaning. You are not able to understand before, and you will not understand in the coming time. So that is, it misses the meaning of the word understand. The meaning of the word understand, it means. And the other, I read the problem is, yeah, I insist on him to pay for the meal. Insist on. I insist on him to pay for the meal. የምግቡን ክፍያ እንዲከፍል ኢንሲስት እያደረኩት ነው። I am insisting on him to pay for the meal. Wrong. Insist አደርገዋለሁ እያደረኩት ነው። አደርገዋለሁ. No, I am insisting on him to pay for the meal. We cannot say it. I insisted on, ልክ ነው. Have insisted on, possible ነው. I was insisting on, I will be insisting on, continuous ናቸው. We cannot use this in this way. And the other, she promised she will not be late. Past tense ነው. Yeah. And she's promising she will not be late. Wrong ነው, because present continuous ነው. It doesn't have any continuous form for the word promise. So we cannot. She promises she will not be late. እንደገና ልዘገይ እንደማችል ቃል ገብታለች። እንደገና እንደማዘገይ ቃል ትገባለች። she promises ቃል ትገባለች። ቃል እየገባች ነው። ቃል ገብታለች። ቃል እየገባች ነው። No, we cannot. We don't have such kind of expression for the word promise. I promise I will bring my reference book to you. የኔ አጋዥ መጽሐፌን ላመጣልህ ቃል እገባለሁ። I am promising I will bring my reference book to you. የኔን አጋዥ መጽሐፌን I am promising ቃል እየገባሁልህ ነው። ለማምጣት ቃል እየገባሁልህ ነው። We cannot say. And here, questions or mental verbs. mental verbs በአጠቃላይ ይሄ አይነት ትርጉም ይሰጡናል። እኔ እዚህ ጋር ማሳየት የፈለኩት continuous form የላቸውም ነው። አንዳንድ ጊዜ ለምሳሌ remember, forget በኮንቲኒየስ ፎርም ልንጠቀም እንችላለን፣ ግን ትርጉማቸው ይለያል። የተለየ ትርጉም ምንፈልግ ከሆነ I am remembering ልል እችላለሁ። yes I am remembering ልል እችላለሁ። ለምሳሌ I think ስንል I think mental verb ነው። think ስንል I think she's right. I think the problem may arise from, I think the weather is dry. I think we can say that. ፋክትን ይገልጽልኛል። which is mental verb. I think so mental verb ነው, which is present ነው. Sometimes we can just use think for continuous form, but the meaning doesn't mean that the same way as the first example is. I think በcontinuous የሚገልጸው ከሆነ ቅድም የሰጠኝን ትርጉም አይሰጠኝም። ለምሳሌ I'm thinking there will be a meeting. I'm thinking ስል ማሰብ የሚለውን ሳይሆን I'm considering ማለት ነው። I'm considering ኮንሲደር ማድረግ እንዳለብኝ ነው። ኮንሲደር እያደረግኩ ነው እንጂ አም ሲንኪንግ እያሰብኩ ነው የሚለውን ሴንስ አይደለም የሚሰጠኝ። ስለዚህ እንዲህ አይነት ትርጉም የሚሰጡን ከሆነ እነዚህ ሜንታል ቨርቦችን በኮንቲኒየስ መግለጽ እንችላለን። ስለዚህ ሪሜምበር፣ አም ሪሜምበሪንግ፣ ያ ሺ ኢዝ ሪሜምበሪንግ፣ አይ ካን ሴይ አም ፎርጌቲንግ፣ ያ መጠቀም ያስችላል አንዳንድ ጊዜ ነው። ሶ ሉክ ዘ ኩዌስችንስ which is very important to identify these mental verbs, please, the use of these mental verbs. Look, I always a conversation or a dialogue between two persons. I always come to school late. What shall I do? B says, I suggest or I'm suggesting you should wake up early. ምን ብሎ መመለስ አለበት እሱ? I suggest or I'm suggesting you should wake up early. I'm suggesting you በጠዋት መነሳት እንደሚገበሳት በጠዋት መነሳት እንዳለብህ እመክራለሁ ነው። ስለዚህ I'm suggesting you but meaningless ነው። ስለዚህ ማን ነው የሚሆነው? I suggest you should wake up early. እኔ የምመክርህ በጠዋት ብትነሳ ጥሩ ነው። እኔ የምመክርህ በጠዋት ብትነሳ ጥሩ ነው ብዬ ሰጀስት አደርጋለሁ። ስለዚህ I suggest የሚለው right word mental verb ነው። I'm suggesting የሚለው complete አያደርገውም ይሄን ጥያቄ። Second, do you remember what I said yesterday? Yes. Do you remember what I said yesterday? ትናንት ያልኩን አስታውሳል? Yes, I remembered. I am remembering. I remember what you said. Do you remember what I said yesterday? So what is the right word here? Yes, I remembered. Yes, I am remembering. I remember what you said. So the right word is yes, I remember what you said. ያልከውን አስታውሻለሁ። ስለዚህ ትክክል ነው። What do you know about English exam? What do you know about English exam? I know the exam consists of the four skills, or I know the exam is consisting of the four skills. So what is the answer here? Which word really completes for the question? I know the exam consists. I know the exam consisting of ምን ማለት ነው? ስለ እንግሊዝኛ ፈተና ምንድነው ያለ ሐሳብ ቢለው I know ፈተናው የእንግሊዝኛ ፈተና አራቱንም የቋንቋ ክህሎቶች የያዘ ነው ወይም እየያዘ ነው ልንል እንችላለን። is consisting of ስንል እየያዘ ነው። consists of ስንል ደግሞ የያዘ ነው። ስለዚህ የትኛው ነው ትርጉሙ የሚሆነው? consists of our exam consists of the 4 English language skills. So the right one. Number, it is true that the book is belonging or belongs to her. Which is the right word here? It is true that the book is belonging or the book belongs to her. Which is the right word here? Is belonging የሷ እየሆነ ነው ወይም ትክክል ነው መጽሐፉ የሷ ነው። የሷ እየሆነ ነው ስንል የሷ አይደለም ወደፊትም አይሆንም አሁን ነው የሷ እየሆነ ያለው ፕሮሰስ ላይ ነው ማለት ነው። belongs to ካልን ግን it is true that the book belongs to መጽሐፉ የሱ ነው ትክክል የሷ ነው ትክክል ነው። ስለዚህ ምንድነው የሚሆነው መልሱ? belongs to ነው። so belongs consists realize understand and promise and all these are examples of mental verbs. So we always use these mental verbs and the present and past and the perfect, not the continuous form, because they bring different meanings and sometimes they don't have any complete meaning whenever we use this as progressive or continuous form, especially for the present continuous tenses. These are about mental verbs. So you can just use these words in expressing your the permanent activities and activities which are just have a relation with our mental activity. It means so. This is true for today's lesson.